everyone, Sarah here. Today's topic is about opportunity. Opportunity in the obstacle. And we live in this earth, in this world. We experience obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. And that is one way you can view it. And when you view it that way, you'll feel it that way, you'll experience it that way, and you will view it, feel it, and experience it as heavy, as hard, as tough, as impossible at times. But when you change that, when that internal dialogue and perspective becomes transformed and changed and transmuted, and the word obstacle becomes opportunity, everything changes because there's so much opportunity in the obstacle. So if life is just one obstacle after another, that's one perspective and one way. And for many of us, we're living in a world where it feels that way, where it feels like it's just one obstacle after another, and you never can catch a break. And you use words and phrases like, can I just catch a break? If I could just catch a break, if I could just have a minute to breathe. Well, we've all got minutes to breathe, and we're all breathing every minute. But when our experience of life is that it's one obstacle after another, that's what it feels like. That's what the experience is like. That's the embodiment of it. It's heavy, it's hard, it's traumatic, it's unattainable. You don't know how much longer you can go on like that. And when you go within and you do the inner work to completely transform and heal, reprogram those inner subconscious beliefs that you have about yourself, everything about yourself changes, including your perspective, including your language, including your energy around everything. And you begin to see everything as an opportunity. Obstacles become opportunity, and there's opportunity in every obstacle. And I shared this recently on my Facebook page with a post that said, opportunity in the obstacle. And I shared a story of it, and I want to share that story with you today because it's so powerful. It's such a beautiful perspective and experience that I got to have with my daughter because I chose to make myself unselfish, to go within and do this inner work to heal, transform, to transcend after living through a very traumatic, emotionally neglectful, and abusive past for decades. And so many of the people that I work with, they come into my world and into this space having had very, very similar experiences, having their body carry the emotions and the traumas and the heaviness and the energy of that in very much the same way that mine used to as well. But there's always opportunity in the obstacle. And I felt called to share this with you guys today because this, I know, is going to reach whoever needs to hear this today. There's always a world of possibility and opportunity in every obstacle, and through everything we have a choice, even with the things that were done to us, that hurt us, that wounded us. We always have a choice. There are some things in life that are free. Not a lot, but many things in life are free. And those things that are free are the very things that will set you free. Attitude, focus, alignment, your thoughts. Thank God no one's created or developed a system yet to charge you for every thought you have. On average, you have about 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. Could you imagine if there was something that we got charged for every thought we had? $1 per thought. Okay, every day you could see it as, I'm $60,000 to $70,000 in debt. There are some things in life that are free, and those things will set you free. Power of thought, your words, your choices, your attitude. Those are the very things that'll set you free. And focus is choice. Your attitude is a choice. And you may say things like, no, I don't have a choice over that. That person did this to me, right? But how you respond is up to you. It's your choice. And thank God no one's sitting there going, no, you want this one or this one? This way to respond is $10 and this one is only $5. Which one do you want? You want to get angry? That's less. Here. It actually ends up costing more in the long run because it carries throughout your day. And it ends up costing you more. It ends up costing you relationships, opportunities, when you don't have the attitude that best serves you and those around you. It does end up costing you more. And focus is a choice, and we have a choice of what to focus on. And many people still deeply in their wounds and pains of traumas and abuse and neglect in the past say, I don't have a choice. That was taken away from me. My power was taken away from me. When that happened to me and they're still pointing fingers out there, the answers are in here. That's part of what's going on, is the focus is going in the wrong direction, and therefore the choice is going in the wrong direction. The power is going in a direction that's not serving you. It's actually hurting you because it's going out there instead of in here. And when you refocus that, you redirect it. It's like miracles happen. So focus is a choice, and we have the power of choice of what to focus on and what we put our focus on, where we place our attention. What you focus on grows. Are you focusing on anger? And then, well, how did this anger get to grow, get to be more anger, get to be worse? Why is it now rage? How did it become rage? Well, it started off as anger and it got more fuel, more focus, more attention. So it compounded and now it's rage. It's destroying everything. It's destroying you. It's destroying others around you. It's destroying the things you have, the things you own, the things that you wish you could, but you don't. And it feels like you never will. Focus is a choice. There's opportunity in every obstacle, and we have a choice of what to focus on, and where we put our focus, our attention grows. Where our focus goes, our energy grows. Or where our energy goes, our focus grows. It's this is a beautiful dynamic dance, a relationship and system that works. And if it's not working in your favor, you can use the same process and systems to get it to work in your own favor. And all too often, our focus and our attention is being placed on phrases and thoughts and sayings like, I'm stuck. There's nothing I can do about it. I just can't let go. I just can't move on. But that's what they say I'm supposed to do in order to. But here I am. And you feel it, and you feel the heaviness and the energy and the emotion around those phrases and that focus, the focus on I'm stuck, there's nothing I can do about this. And when the focus and the attention and the energy are on thoughts like that, there's energy that surrounds it. It almost seals it in. That's why you feel trapped. That's why you feel stuck. That's why you feel like you can't move. And you feel those areas within you that you feel stuck, trapped, immobilized. You feel like you've got a straitjacket on, like you're wearing a straitjacket internally. Logically, you know there's no straitjacket on you, but you feel it energetically, emotionally. It's as if there were. And you're wondering, how do I bust out of this and break out of this? Well, there's a process and there's a system to that as well. Focus, attention, energy, choice. And you feel like you don't have control over those things. You don't have control over your energy, or the attention, or the direction that it goes. But that's all part of the limitations. It's all part of it. The stale, stagnant, unmoving energy, thoughts and energy, they're always going in that direction, that have that focus that you can't and I can't because, and there's excuses and limitations and validations in your words. Your words take you a certain direction in life. And your words create and produce a certain kind of energy. And we're energetic beings. We're not just meat suits. I love that phrase. That's a meat suit. No, there's energy inside of our meat suits. We're not just meat suits. We're energetic beings. We're spiritual beings. There's more to us than just the flesh and the bone. And there's energy there. There's movement there. And that energy is always in alignment with your thoughts. And when that energy becomes stuck, becomes trapped, becomes stale, becomes stagnant, it's unwavering, it's unmoving. It stays there. And then your focus stays there. Your focus stays on the things that you're afraid of. Your focus stays on the things that you lack. Your focus stays on the things that are going wrong and aren't working out. And your focus stays on the comparison and the judgment and the negativity that you feel towards others who don't seem to be stuck in the same place that you can't move out of or away from. And then there's anger, and the anger compounds, and then it becomes rage, and it just becomes everybody, everything. And then that impacts those around you. It's like this thing inside of you that eats away at your flesh suit. Where do you think this ease gets harbored, presents in a physical body, in a meat suit, where there's not ease, where the focus is on those things fear, lack, void, can't, stale, stuck. Think about water. Think about a pond and there's no water moving through it. There's just like algae and mold and bacteria and viruses and stuff growing in it. You wouldn't want to drink that water. They actually sell filters. If you're out backpacking and camping, filter it out. Your mind is the same way. You got to filter it out. You could go drink from a flowing water, from a creek, from a river. Be a lot better for you than drinking from that stale, stagnant pond, because things are moving, things are going, things are flowing, things are fresh, things are clean, things are clear. Your body's the same way. There's energy that's moving the water. There's no energy in the water that's unmoving. And look what happens to it. It's moldy, yucky, nasty. You can't drink it. It'll make you sick. Same thing. It's the same thing. So if your focus is free, are you thinking it's cheap? You shouldn't have to pay for it? Focus is free, and the things that are free can set you free. So inside every obstacle is opportunity, opportunity for growth, opportunity for movement, opportunity for expansion, opportunity to see things a new way, to create a new vision, to have this new realm of what could be from this. What is beyond those walls? What's beyond this jacket? What's beyond this prison I feel like I'm locked in? I've never been in prison, never hope to be. Don't plan on doing anything will land me there. But I can just imagine. I can just imagine that you're in a prison. You're in a cell. You're like a creature held captive, and you can imagine, you dream of, you desire of what it will be like one day when you're out. You can almost hear the prison guard coming by and the jingle of the keys on his belt, and what it would be like if he were to take that key and put it in your door and unlock it. You can almost hear the metal sliding open and saying, "You're free to go." Huh? And while you were in there, it's like you could imagine all of the wonderful, incredible things you were going to do when you got out. The things you were going to do, the food you were going to eat, the people you were going to see, how it would feel to have someone that you loved, their arms wrapped around you, how it would feel to touch them and smell them. To taste food, to wear different clothes, to sleep in a different bed, to get in a car, to drive, to go somewhere, to do something other than just sit there surrounded by metal and concrete. I could just imagine what that would be like, and how incredible it would be to experience. And that's exactly what it's like experiencing when you go within and you heal those inner pains and wounds and traumas from your past that have kept you feeling like you're in a prison, and logically you know you're not, but it's as if in your mind you are. And you imagine what it would be like to get out of that. All of the things you would do, the places you would go, the people you would connect with, even down to that very last detail of what it would be like to smell your most favorite dinner being cooked. And to put a piece of it on the fork and put it in your mouth and just, oh, it's so good. And to feel that feeling of satisfaction and fullness after eating too much of it. Oh, like Thanksgiving. So good. And you can almost smell it, feel it, taste it. Ah, my mouth is salivating. Because our minds have this incredible capacity and ability to imagine things, to dream, to daydream, to wander, to go somewhere, even when we're right here. Even when we're here and we feel like we're in this prison, we can imagine what it would be like to be set free. And inside of every obstacle is opportunity to do that. The opportunity for that, for growth, for expansion, to see things in a new way, to create this new vision. What's it going to be like out there, outside of these walls? What is beyond them? What are the things I'm going to do? Who am I going to talk to? What am I going to be able to create? But I'm stuck inside this prison of this obstacle. And that's one perception. That's one area that many, many people get stuck on focusing on. So I recently took my daughter, my world. I love her. We went to Geode Hill. And I love hiking. I love outdoors. I love nature. Hence all the nature metaphors all the time. They're so relatable. Oh, when I'm in nature, I'm like, oh. my soul is singing and dancing and frolicking like the hills of music, right? I come alive. So I recently took her to, I was looking for a hike, and on the hike, I found one. I'm like, oh, this looks beautiful. And it was far more beautiful than the pictures did it any justice. So it was wonderful to be able to be there and experience it in person. But as I'm looking at the map and, doing this thing, I see Geode Hill, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she would love geodes. My daughter's 5, she loves geodes, and Geode Hill, that looks really fun. And I'm like searching. So anyway, we go and we plan our day, and I'm like, let's hike and then do Geode Hill. And of course she's like, let's do Geode Hill and then hike. I'm like, this is about her. Okay, let's do it. So we go to Geode Hill and we drive there, and I'm in an area that doesn't have any service, but navigation took me there. And it was like, okay, there's no sign. I don't know where Geode Hill is. I'm assuming it's that hill. It could be that hill. And where we had to park wasn't next to either one of them. So we were kind of guessing and trying to figure this thing out. No sign, no people, no entrance. It was like out in nature. It was just there. And so I say, well, let's check this out. So we walk up this hill. I'm like, that's definitely a hill. That would make sense. It's called Geode Hill. So we walk up the hill, and I'm like, I don't know. There are millions of rocks, like the path of rocks, a hill of rocks. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I just want to go do the hike. You wanted to do Geode Hill first. I just want to do the hike first, but here we are. This is for you. And so I'm looking around. I'm like, I don't know, baby girl. All the rocks look the same. And I know she was like, I'm not focusing on what you just said. I could care less about what you just said. And I'm like, okay, let's go find a geode. And I'm like, what do they look like? All the rocks look the same. I know a geode is a rock, and it looks on the outside very uninteresting. It's just a rock. Okay. But on the inside, they're so different. Beautiful, gorgeous on the inside. And in my backpack, I have our snacks and I have our water, and I packed a hammer. So I'm carrying this hammer, and she's like so excited. Can I hold the hammer, mommy? Can I carry the hammer? Sure, baby girl, you can carry the hammer. That's fine. So she's carrying the hammer, and she's like, which one? Which one? I'm like, oh, they all look the same. They're brown on the outside, but the difference is on the inside. They're so different on the inside. And I'm wondering how you are observing yourself. Same on the outside, plain, but you're different on the inside. You're different from anybody else on the inside. Not a single one of us is the same on the inside. We all have beauty inside of us. So we eventually see this big rock, and I can tell, okay, someone has been here with geodes, because there was little like crystal-y shards on this big flat rock, and it was obvious that someone had smashed it, and little geo remnants were there. I'm like, okay, we're getting close. Okay, which rock did they smack? And I see a little piece of one of the geodes is kind of off to the side. And I'm like, okay. So I grab it and I flip it over. And instead of looking at the inside, I know what they look on the inside. I look at what they look on the outside, and it's weird. It's almost like a rock that's kind of like brown brains. That's how I described it. It's like a brown brain. It was dirty. It was plain, right? It looked like a normal rock on the outside, but it was different. It wasn't flat like the other rocks, and it wasn't quite smooth. It was kind of bumpy. And I described it to my daughter, it looks like a walnut, or it looks like a brain. Go find the rocks that looks like brains. And she was like, okay, find the rocks that look like brains. Got it. So she walks up the hill away, and she finds some rocks that look like brains. And she says, are these it, mommy? I'm like, I don't know. Use your hammer. Let's try it out. But there was an obstacle. We couldn't just like open it. It's a rock. It's a geode. It's hard. You needed something, a tool to help aid in the finding it out. It was this opportunity for exploration, for discovery. We did end up hitting a couple of rocks that, no, they were just rocks. Actually, one of them was so beautiful on the inside. It had this layer of like purple and crystals. This is one layer. It looked like an unassuming rock, just plain normal rock, but on the inside, this layer, beautiful lavender and clear crystals. It was absolutely gorgeous. So we began using this as seeing these obstacles. Okay, this is all rocks, but there's opportunity inside of each one. So we just started trying with our hammer in hand, with a wish, with a hope, with a dream, with a desire in our heart and in our mind that we were going to find these geodes. We didn't know which ones were and which ones weren't. We were going to find the ones. Are we going to find the ones with the crystals in it? I think so. I can't promise you. I don't know. I'm not sure. I see lots of obstacles in our way. Which one, which one, which one? And so often in our life, we go, which one, which one? We get overwhelmed and consumed by, there's too many choices. Let's just go. I don't want to be here anymore. Come on. This is a waste of time. What's the point? So often in our mind, we go through those things and the cycles and the stories, and without knowing which one, when we feel like there's too many, we just give up. Ugh. Too much, it's too much work. Let's go. I don't want to do this anymore. It's a waste of time. When you stay and you're there and you see the opportunity in the obstacles, the opportunity was we could find so many of these crystals in these geodes, and I'm going to show you a picture of them. They're absolutely beautiful. So the first rock that we smashed open, like screamed with delight. Sat there in awe as we admired the glimmering crystals and the opportunity that we had to continue to seek and to search, to find more, to focus on finding more, to focus on the beauty inside and the opportunity and the crystals, and break through that obstacle and the barrier of opening up to reveal what was within, to reveal their inner beauty. It was amazing. And there's opportunity in every obstacle. You see, the obstacle in our lives can be seen as that as well. Ugly, dull. I don't know. This is stupid. Let's go. Why are we here? And there's opportunity in that. The obstacle and the journey of breaking something open that seems so dull and so ugly and so uninteresting, to reveal something so glamorous, so glorious, so beautiful, so shiny, so shimmery inside. And you get that very same obstacle as well, if you will see it as an opportunity and not just an obstacle. And you may be living your life that way, where you're viewing the obstacles in your life like those geodes on the outside, ugly, worthless, boulders, just plain rocks, nothing special about them. You might be seeing yourself as that. Ugly, plain, uninteresting, boring, dull, worthless. And you might feel like that. Like we were on that hill, we were hiking up the hill, like we were walking on the rocks. You might feel like you've lived this life where you've just gotten walked all over, trampled, stamped on, walked past, walked by, left. Like the weight of something above you was crushing you. You might feel like all of those other rocks that we walked on and over to go find those special geodes. But there's opportunity in every obstacle. And you may be viewing all those obstacles in your life as that. And inside every opportunity is like what was revealed when we busted open those geodes, when we expanded them, when we opened them, and we sat there just reveling in the beauty and the awe and the wonder. We're like, she could have stayed there all day, busting open geodes, turning obstacles into opportunities. And we had this opportunity to create something beautiful with it. When we got home, we had this whole bag of geodes, an opportunity, because we were a little bit confused when we got there. We had collected more than we needed. And I had this conversation, I had the opportunity to have this conversation with my daughter, that was an obstacle for us. It was an obstacle to try and figure out which ones were the ones that were the geodes and not just the regular rocks. And why don't we? Because we live in a state of abundance. We had an abundant number of geodes. We had more than enough. We had more than we wanted, more than we needed. I was excited that we even found one. I said, honey, why don't we leave a couple of them on this flat rock for the next person? Why don't we leave one that's open so they can see, get so excited about what they're going to find inside when they crack it open? Why don't we leave one that's open so they see and they know, and then we leave a couple for them, like a little gift, like a little treasure, like a little package for the next person? And of course, at first she was like, no, these are mine. These are mine. And I said, oh, honey, what if someone had done that for us? It would have been easier for us to connect with and to know this is what to focus on. Focus on finding these, because there's so many that are not, and this is what is. Focus on this. Focus on going and finding more. And what if we knew what to focus on? What if we received this little package and this little gift of like, this is what you can focus on. And when you find and you focus on this, you get an opportunity to break it open and to see the beauty of what's inside. And I'm happy to share that she did. I said, why don't we just leave 3? And she said, Mommy, why don't leave 5? Because I'm 5. And I said, my heart, let's leave 5. Let's do it. And so we did, and we put him in this cute little, like a rainbow. We made him like a rainbow with the little one that we had cracked open right in the middle of the rainbow, like the pot of gold, she called it, because it was shimmery, shiny, beautiful, so wonderful. And so now the next person that goes there can see that, receive that gift, and know what to focus on. Okay, focus on finding more of these and the opportunity to crack them open, and not seeing it, obstacle. No, there's opportunity inside every obstacle. I love this, because this is the area for growth, for expansion, for healing, for beauty, for awe and wonder. Just like those little geodes held all of that inside, you hold all of that inside as well. Beauty, awe, wonder. If only you'll take the opportunity to focus on and to see it as an opportunity. All those obstacles, imagine like Geode Hill, a huge hill in your life. Boulder, rock, uninteresting, obstacle. What if you were to see and imagine, just like that person just sitting in their cell feeling trapped, imagine seeing all of those as opportunities instead of obstacles. And each one, you get the opportunity to crack open and to reveal the shiny, amazing, incredible, beautiful thing that it holds within. And an opportunity to leave something for the next person who comes on that same hill, on that same journey, on the same path, and they go, wait a minute, I thought I was lost, but look. And their focus goes on that, and they see this little gift that you left, because now you're off to the hike. You're off to the next thing. You're off to the hike. You're off going to see more beauty and more. And you've left something for the next person to come along so that they know what to focus on. Imagine that. Just imagine that. So my question for you is, are you going to do what it takes for you to turn the obstacles into opportunity, to break open, to reveal, to transform all of those, that the hill of obstacles into this mountain of opportunity? Or are you just going to continue to stand there and be angry and upset about all those ugly rocks that you see? When you're ready for that, I would absolutely love to connect with you. Imagine it like a little package that was left there for you. Whether it is that you want to connect and work one-to-one, or join us inside our Transforming Past Pain to Present Power program, both opportunities are available for you if you're willing to focus on and see them as that, and accept them as that little gift that they are. Mwah. Much love to you guys. Let's see you very soon.